Alright, so let's do a quick update on AT&T stock. Ticker symbol T, and AT&T is a little bit down, so we're starting to see the effects of the coronavirus, everything being shut down, people less money, and they AT&T is starting to be hit a little bit. So they let's see. In April, they had to take $5 billion in debt, additional, secure a loan. And that's problematic because AT&T is in an insane amount of debt. We're talking $150 billion in debt. And that's because um, they had to buy Time Warner, which they paid pretty much a premium so they can start their streaming service, and their streaming service launched, and it's kind of shitty. It's terrible. Honestly, they did a terrible job with it. The advertising, everything, and the worst time during the pandemic, it hurt them really bad. So they're 150 in debt, plus they secure another 5 billion, so now they're even more in debt, and their goal was to pay down debt. So they're going the opposite way. And that's just something to be considered of, you consider that. They earn good money, but now they're earning less money. They're way in debt. So until we figure out, a vaccine and for the coronavirus and everything goes back to normal, AT&T is going to struggle a little bit. But surprisingly, they've been holding around $30 during the pandemic, which is insane. I would have thought it went to $27 and it's now at 29. Um, it it's holding on. I don't quite know why. It should be lower, but when you look back a year, it was $39, and I think AT&T, just the way it is, I think it's around a $40 stock. They offer great dividends. 6.9% is insane. They are hurting now, but they say their dividend is safe. And the way that companies do this, that have insane dividends like that, they'll increase it by 1 penny, just so they can say they increased it every single year. And a ton of companies do that. It's just how they do it. It's how they stay on everyone's radar. Um, they're gonna increase it, or they'll probably increase it a penny, and they'll keep their dividends safe because AT&T right now has always been a dividend play. You buy it for the dividends. So you buy the stock, they pay you money. It's great. But they're struggling because they're trying to get away from being just phone and internet. They're trying to get into streaming, diversify a little, which is great. But honestly, it's at the worst time. Disney launched earlier. They did it very well. During the pandemic, everyone signed up for Disney. AT&T launched during the pandemic, right, pretty much right when it started. Well, not right when it started, but it into the pandemic, and it just hurt them. I think they're gonna struggle for a while. I would like to see the stock go to $23 to $25. Um, but either way, if it stays 29, 30, I'm gonna keep buying. It's a little bit of a risk play, but the dividend is just insane. You buy 100 shares, you're gonna earn $200. It's good money. Like I don't want to say it's safe, but compared to other companies that offer this high of a dividend, they're all risk plays. But AT&T, they've always earned great money. It's it's just it's just something you have to consider. And looking more into their streaming, so they launched in May and they signed up 4.1 million people. And that's pretty good, but Disney signed up 10 million when they launched in the first 24 hours. So I'm comparing apples to oranges here because HBO Max already had HBO Go. So the way that they have it set up, it's shitty. It's terrible. I think one day they're gonna get rid of the HBO Max, HBO Go, and just combine everything. It's just a lot easier and it's dumb the way they do it. But they did decent, but not great. And I think their streaming is gonna struggle. But they own amazing content. And HBO is solid. Like they if HBO Go could have expanded like they wanted to in the past, they would be insanely huge right now. But laws and everything, the company said no, so AT&T now owns them. Hopefully, we get to that stage where they figure out all their dumbass plays with the HBO Go, HBO Max, and the different layers of HBO. They just make it one, like Netflix, and eventually they'll start earning a profit with that. But it won't be for a long time. So we're, I'm guessing, probably going to stay around this, probably between the 30 to 40, and then in like near 2025 when they get to a reasonable size with their streaming, they'll start earning money from that, and the stock might take off a little. Now you're not gonna get huge gains. So AT&T has a market cap of 210 billion right now, and they're at $30. So it goes to $60. You're looking at 420 billion market cap. So the way I see it is 2025, 2027, I'm going to double my money. And that'll be great. That's what I'm shooting for. Anything beyond that, I don't think they will. I think the max that they'll get is half a billion, but we just have to see how the coronavirus hits everyone. We could go into a deep recession and maybe even a depression. No one knows, but I think AT&T's overall solid, and I'm gonna keep buying them. I am long AT&T, so I'm gonna keep adding to them, and I'll do videos when I buy more. So do some more research, check it out, have fun. Video is not financial advice. Any statements made are my views and is for entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. Do your own research before making any financial investments.